Right. Hello, everyone. I am joined by Joe from the TurfCast podcast. First of all, Joe, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Yourself?
Really good, really good. I just want to start, mate, with your season overall. I know you had a good win against Arsenal last time out, which blew up at AFTV, which I found hilarious. But yeah,
It was brilliant.
how has it been overall for you? Like, I know you're down near the bottom, but are you happy with the way you started, or has it been quite difficult?
No, it has been pretty difficult. I do feel over the last few games we've turned the corner. We've had a few good results now. Obviously beating Arsenal. Is that even something to brag about anymore? I don't think it is. As we're recording this, Southampton
Yeah.
are currently winning there. Obviously, it's one of them, innit? But I think, and before that, we had a draw against Everton, who were a good Everton side this year. I know they've been in and out of form, but before that, yeah, we had quite a few bad results, and sometimes you don't really mind losing, but when you're losing in a manner where the players look like they don't care. Then that's something that really worries you, and that's what it was looking like at the start of the season. Admittedly, we had a few injuries. Ben Mee missed the start of the season, as did James Tarkowski. Charlie Taylor's been out. Jay Rodriguez has been out. Even Nick Pope missed a game through a positive coronavirus test. So we have had some injuries, but now I think we're slowly starting to be the Burnley of old and just be a solid team again. That's what we look like against Arsenal anyway, and that's what we look like against Everton. So fingers crossed we can keep progressing that. And literally just had the notification now that Arsenal have equalised. So that's it. That comment I've just made is immediately dead.
Your win looks much better right now. Just on your bad start.
Yeah, it does.
Just on like your bit of a dodgy start. Is are all the fans still behind Sean Dyche? Is he still the main man? No one's
Oh
doubting
yeah,
him?
yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's always a few idiots, but it's simply that. It's not been so much this season. You know what? It was last season because we had a poor start last season.
Yeah.
Admittedly, not as bad as this, but we had a poor start last season. And last season, the noises were a bit louder. I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe people have just come to accept as part of the furniture now because he's been here for 7 years. Which is incredible. But yeah, look at where we were and where we should be, to be honest, when he took over the football club, fighting relegation in the Championship, and since then we've been into Europe, and even last season finished 10th, despite a bad start. So yeah, everyone is behind him.
Yeah, because today West Brom, they've got Big Sam in. Does that worry you? Because I know they're kind of a little rival down there, scrapping away.
Not really. I do think we'll be all right. Like I said, if we keep our starting 11 fit, the back two are the main ones, and in James Tarkowski's case, keep him at the club, then I think we'll be all right. We need Chris Wood to start scoring some goals, but that's a different debate. But we are starting to look like Burnley of old, and I do think eventually we will pull away from the likes of West Brom. And to be honest, I don't think it's a manager thing with West Brom. I think this could be Sam's first relegation. Yeah, I do think this could be Sam's first relegation. But obviously, we'll come to that at the end of the season. This isn't a West Brom podcast. It's anything but, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Chris Wood there, and he broke a lot of Wolves fans' heart last year with that penalty late on at your place. You mentioned he didn't score many goals. Has he not been much of a threat this season for you then? Does he need to improve?
Yeah, I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. I'm always praising Chris Wood, and I'm always telling Burnley fans that they're wrong and he needs to be in our side. If you look at the last 3 seasons, he scored 14 goals every single season, and that's not to be sniffed at in the Premier League, especially a club who people think shouldn't be in the Premier League. But so he's had a good return. So I'm always telling people that we should be in the side. His record speaks for itself. But I think what people have an issue with is the style of play that we revert to when Chris Wood's in the side. But if that's what works for Chris Wood, then that's what works for Chris Wood. He is our leading goal scorer over the past 3 seasons. But this season, he just seems to be... what it is with Chris Wood, I always say, look, there is nobody at Burnley Football Club who can finish a ball as well as Chris Wood can. The only person in recent history that's probably been a better finisher than Chris Wood at Burnley Football Club is Charlie Austin. Yeah. Even Danny Ings. Danny Ings is a better all-round striker, don't get me wrong, but in terms of finishing, Chris Wood, I believe it is better. Some Burnley fans always berate me for that, but we'll move on. So I think for that, we always want him in the side, but this season, again, he did it last season. He's had a bad start, and he's not been scoring goals, and he's been missing sitters as well. That's the problem. He just doesn't look like Chris Wood. He is missing sitters. But yeah, you mentioned that penalty, and I know obviously you won't want to go into it, but Can you get any more top bins? That was
Oh,
such.
no,
I was so nervous. It were a great pen, wasn't it? I was so nervous. I was thinking, no, if he's as nervous as me, this is not going in. But cool, calm, collected, absolute fantastic pen.
Yeah, well, the game's Monday night. From the outside looking in at Wolves, I don't know how much you've seen of us, but who are the players that you worry about, like from the Wolves' point of view? Who are the threats you see from us?
Well, there's obviously Neves, but obviously is not playing. Obviously at the minute, massive shame. It's good to see him back at the training ground, though. Obviously, even everybody in the football community wanted.
Oh, Raul Jimenez, the head injury, yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Sorry, I do get them mixed up. But yeah, there's Neves as well. There's what's he called now? Is it Podence?
Podence, yeah, he's on fire for us at the moment. Mate. Really good last
night. He's brilliant. He really is brilliant. So they're your main sort of players. But obviously, for me at the minute, it's got to be Podence, however you pronounce it. But yeah, I think it's just with Wolves, it's the outside looking in. I always look at them as sort of like a very sort of like Flair oriented side. Obviously, you boys will all know more than me about Wolves. But going forward is where you really are dangerous. But last season we managed to keep you relatively quiet. Obviously, I think both games finished 1-1, didn't they?
They did. Yeah.
So fingers crossed we can do it again this season. But it's one of them. I think at Wolves at the minute. I can't remember your last few results, but I know you had a massive result on is it Monday night, Tuesday night?
Yeah, beat
against Chelsea.
Yeah, big win.
Yeah. I remember, but I think before that you had a couple of dodgy results.
Lost to Villa. We lost to Villa.
Yeah, that's the one. The 94th minute. Yeah,
another penalty.
Yeah, but again, Villa are a different side, so it depends which Villa turn up. Like the good Villa might have turned up against you. Obviously, we've got them at the time of recording this tomorrow night. So we'll see how we get on against Villa. But yeah, I think going forward, Wolves are where you're at your biggest threat.
Yeah, so you mentioned withdrew the last few. What's your score prediction for this one, if I can get that off you?
I always get berated off Burnley fans for sitting on the fence because I do like a 1-1 prediction, but I think I don't know. It's one of them. I think Wolves. I think you are a different animal without Jimenez. I think he is. I think most Wolves fans will agree. Well, from outside looking in, I feel like he's your best player. You boys might disagree. So I think you are a different animal without him. I'm going to go 1-1. Why not? It always finishes 1-1. I do like a 1-1 prediction. Our last two games have finished 1-1. We do tend to have a bit of joy against you at the turf. Like you said, last season, you probably should have beat us, to be fair, if it wasn't for that penalty. But we do seem to have a bit of joy against you at the turf. So fingers crossed we can do it again because, we do need to start. Like I said, I do feel like we've turned a corner, but we do need to start picking up more wins now. We need to follow up that win against Arsenal with hopefully a win in between our game with Villa. Like I said, we haven't actually played him yet at the time of recording, and then if we do beat Villa, I'd take a point against you or a point against Villa, and hopefully 3 against you. But I would also take 2 draws as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1, mate.
Brilliant, mate. Well, it's at Turf Moor, which is it your happy place too? Same as Jordan North.
Well, we can't get there, can we, at the minute?
No.
Yeah, it were a funny one, that, weren't it? Because I remember when he was saying it, that's when we were absolutely dreadful at the start of the season. So the banter that everyone was saying was, it's not a happy place this season.
Yeah, that was funny.
But yeah, it was funny. He's a
character.
I don't know him personally, but yeah, he seems like a really good lad. But yeah, it was funny. But hopefully we can make it our happy place again. And hopefully there's no nerve-wracking 94th minute penalties because I can't be doing with that again.
Well, Joe, thank you very much. Best of bad luck, as Sam would say. And catch you later on in the season.
Yeah, thanks for having me, mate.
In terms of what formation he plays to begin with, I mean, would you go 4 at the back against a team like Burnley?
Wow, this is the dilemma, isn't it? Because it's at their place. We
Call
know
Kelly Rowland.
We know how organised they are. We've got not the best record against them, have we? I think we've drew the last few games. A load of 1-1s in there. I'm gonna have to. I can't just go against what I said a minute ago. I'm gonna say go 4 and try and break them down because we know what they're gonna do. They're gonna boot it up in the air a lot, up to the big lads up top, be organised, and they'll probably sneak a goal off a set piece. But if we can get a few goals before they do that and win, that would be nice because we need to get 3 points here with a tough Christmas period coming up. So I hope we go 4 at the back and go for it. Yeah.
Go over to our wing-back correspondent. Dan, are there going to be wing-backs in this game?
I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. It's a weird one, isn't it? Our form, as Harry said, isn't great against Burnley. It's going to be lump it forward. I mean, the big positive is at least they aren't just going to target Semedo like Villa and Chelsea did. But Willy, Bolly and Cody are going to need an aspirin at half time because they're going to have headed it so much. But they do worry me from set pieces, Burnley. I always think Wolves look dodgy defending the set pieces, but that's been for the last 20 years, not just the last season. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what he does, really. I can't speculate on it because we haven't got a clue, have we?
Jack Martino will be back, available for the game. Does he start?
Maybe. I think a lot of that will depend on what's wrong with Dendoncker, to be honest. I think at the moment, Dendoncker, if he's fit, is probably our first choice midfielder. Otasowie obviously did well, but I still don't. It takes a long time to get Nuno's trust and actually embed a place in the first team. So potentially, because Neves has been a bit, hot and cold lately. Even though he did all right last night, there was still some dodgy passing that we all saw. On the Semedo thing though, Dan, I'm pretty sure last night he took on a player and then had a shot. Obviously, the shot's still at the top of the
He did. I even commented saying, "Oh, he's done something good."
Yeah,
he did take someone on. It only happened once.
It was actually a really good passage of play against Chelsea. And when it happened, I was like, "Please put it top bins, just to bring him back to 0 goals. It would have been the best."
I mean, Cody had a good shot as well, didn't he?
He had so much time for that. And you just think, what a waste.
It landed as the car park. That did.
Absolutely no in it. It did, yeah. Oh, Fabio Silva start, Harry?
Yeah, I think we start him. Be those three. I'd put Traore on the bench again, bring him on when they're slightly tired to run them ragged. So if we play 4 at the back, it's going to be the 4-3-3, isn't it? Or the 4-2-3-1, maybe. But then you'd have to start Traore, wouldn't you? But I'll tell you what, why not Vitinha? Why not give Vitinha a start? It's not going to happen.
I think he's coming round to Vitinha now. Do you think he's coming?
Well, he needs
starting to play a little bit more.
I think it took him a bit of time to trust him. That's why he stuck him in the under-23s for a few games, didn't he? He didn't make the matchday squad a couple of times. But, he did all right the other night for the few minutes he was on.
Got an assist.
It's a different option, isn't it? I don't think he's going to be that close to a start yet, the same as Otasowie. But we'll see. It's an option. And one thing we need at the moment is definitely options.
Perfect. We'll do a score prediction starting with Bayliss.
Don't know. Do you know what? Bugger it. 3.
Usually you get them right, don't you?
1 Wolves. 3-1 Wolves. I'm going to be positive.
Harry?
1-0 Wolves. Vitinha last minute goal.
And Jack?
I'll go with I was going to go with 1-0 as well. 1-0 Wolves because Doty's not there to catch it in the penalty area.
Still not forgiven for that.
Helpful.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves.